Hey everybody, how are you doing? Picked up this welding cart today at Princess Auto. Before I get into that, I know there's been a few of you guys talking about how bad my audio has been, and I bought this a while ago. It's just a clip-on mic that plugs into my phone or camera, whatever you want to use it with, and it works good, but for some reason I just haven't been using it, so I thought I'd give it a try in this video and see how it works. Usually I just use it on videos where I'm just talking, showing you stuff on the computer basically, not actually out in the garage doing things. But anyway, here we go. Give it a shot. This is on sale. It's regular $119, they say in the catalog, but their price in the store says regular $99. But either way, it was on sale for $59, which is a decent deal. I do have a welding cart that I built years ago, but it was big. I built it for two welders. I had a MIG welder and a little stick welder, a 120 volt stick welder that I built it to fit on there. And it's just kind of big. And the cart itself, here, we'll move you over here. It's hard to see with the tire thing in the way. It just kind of sits there. It's kind of big and it stays with my welding table here. Really never moves. I don't do a lot of mobile welding. But anyway, I have some upcoming stuff that I'll need to move the welder around. I'm going to be welding some panels onto a car. And I obviously can't move the car over to the welder. So, move the welder to the car. So I picked this up. Like I said, $59 or $59.99, whatever it is. Their packaging is always so bad. I'm sure Harbor Freight is the same way. It's packaged and taped all up. So, let's see what's in here. Well, that didn't stick. It's mostly just made of sheet metal. The one I saw in store is. There we go. Okay, let's come around this side. Pull the box out from under it. Of course, you have to assemble it yourself. I mean, I've seen this cart sold under many different brands in different stores, but they're all pretty much the same, and I'm sure they're all made in the same wing-wang factory, as Steve would say. Steve Robb. Let's see. Everything is just... They must own a tape factory too, because they use enough of it. Ready-ho. Pull out the instructions. There you go. That's simple as can be. Chart. It's terrible. It's so blurry you can't even see much. Instructions. Warning: car designed to carry one gas cylinder only. That's fine. I only have one. Never attempt to weld the gas cylinder. Well, that's genius advice. Never weld your gas cylinder. It's another reason I wanted a cart is my other cart doesn't have a built-in place for the gas cylinder. I've always just set it down beside it. Anyway, I'm going to take all this out, and I'll pause the video now, and I'll take everything out and show you as I'm putting it together. Alrighty then. I've got the package opened up, kind of took everything out and spread it around a little bit. There's part, one of the top shelf or the middle shelf, another one there, one of the side pieces, bottom pieces, or I don't know what I'm talking about. This appears to be a handle. Got wheels over here, casters for the front, some kind of side supports, chain for holding the cylinder, fasteners. Not sure what these are yet. I haven't even looked at the instructions. I did see enough to see it. All it requires, it says, is a 10mm wrench. So I got the old Impact, also the 120XP with deep 10mm deep, 10mm shallows for both this and that. The old Knipex Cobras, or Knipex, 10mm ratcheting flex head wrench, 10mm Milwaukee Max Bite wrench, got the teeth in the jaws there. So let's go ahead and give her a try. Let you guys watch some of this. I know first thing first is the axle goes through the axle tube. Take the fasteners, put a washer on each side. One washer there. One there. Put a wheel here. A wheel on that side. We'll move that out of the way. Okay, so that's done. Oh, shorter washer already. There it is. Don't you just hate that when you buy something that's missing fasteners? I mean, I usually have enough fasteners of my own to get whatever I'm doing finished, but it's still a pain in the ass. Might as well get out the cotter pins while I'm in there. But again, I have a whole bunch of those too. I always keep an assortment of cotter pins for when you're doing CV axles and any front end work. You always need cotter pins. We'll stick that one through there. Put you back in there. Cotter pin through. And this will be our first use of the pliers, bending the cotter pin over. Let's see, hold on here. Okay, let's turn it that way and do it then. Cotter pin. Good enough. Do it by hand. Good. Take that out. Make sure you guys can see what's going on here somewhat. Flip that up. You see here still? Don't want you missing out on this excitement here. Put the washer on the other side of the wheel. The cotter pin through the hole. Come on. Something's in these. I don't know if it's just flash or what's preventing it from going over, but anyway, it's in. Okay, bend over the cotter pin. We have rear wheels. Now the front wheels. I'll move you over here to watch this exciting process. Now there's a million of these little bolts and nuts, and they give me 2 packs, and I don't know if they're the same. Doesn't specifically say. So, to the bottom shelf. Okay. So the front wheels, each wheel takes 4 of these, and these come with a bolt, nut, a flat washer, and a split washer. The flat washer goes in the bottom, so we'll just take those off. Do 4 of those for now. Set the nut and the split washer off to the side here as I'm doing it. And again, I'll just do the one wheel and then I'll go away and you'll come back. There's no need for you to watch me do both because it's not terribly exciting or difficult. So I'll put one in like that through the flat washer on the bottom. Poke it through the hole. Put a split washer. And a nut. Another bolt. Thus far the holes line up pretty good, which you can never be too sure of. This stuff coming on the slow boat from China, sometimes the holes don't line up and you gotta do a little adjusting and customizing. That nut doesn't want to fit on there very well, but it will go. I will make it go. So yeah, they say a pair of pliers, but I'd recommend at least a couple of 10 millimeters, one wrench to hold the other side instead of pliers. All right, that wheel went on. Angst and drama free. Now we'll just put the back wheel back on. Make sure we're spinning the right way. And imagine there's a torque spec for these, not that it's listed or anything, but sure one could find out what it should be. There we go. Okay, I'll put the other wheel on and I'll come back to the next step. All right, everybody. I just skipped ahead and went ahead and put everything together because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy to do. I mean, the instructions just kind of give you an exploded diagram, and I mean, you can read. The step-by-step is kind of stupid, but it's fairly simple. One thing I will tell you, make sure you get everything, all the screws in before you tighten them up. Just put everything on hand tight. Snug though, because once you start tightening them, if you're using an impact driver as I was, things will vibrate out and fall. And if you're doing it here like I am on a workbench, things will inevitably bounce down, go off your shoe or slipper in my case, and underneath the workbench, never to be seen again. But so I suggest you do this somewhere in the middle of the floor with nothing around, so if anything drops you can find it. I do highly recommend using the impact driver or a cordless ratchet or something for them, because all told there is 30 nuts and bolts, which is little ones. They're 10 millimeter, so it would take forever by hand. I mean, I put this together in about 15 minutes probably. By hand it would probably add another 15, so yeah, definitely. The only ones you won't be able to use an impact driver on is this one behind the hose, the hanger. So I just used a ratcheting wrench on that one. Make sure you get them tight until the split nuts close. You want everything good and snug. Another thing I might recommend, I mean, chances are I will never take this thing apart. So I might go through and put Loctite on all the bolts, nuts and bolts, just so it doesn't fall apart when you're wheeling it. You know, things like this tend to fall apart. Another thing is, don't go ape shit on the things with your impact driver, because I did strip out one of the screws. It's in there, it's not going anywhere, but it kept turning, so I just left well enough be. I might take it apart, and like I said, I'll just put a drop of Loctite on all of them. Better safe than sorry. The back just has a place to chain your bottle up. The chains just go through these key slots. And there you go. You can adjust it to the size of your bottle. The bottle just rests down there. The wheels, these little plastic end caps go on the end of the axle. That's about it. I'll set my welder on it and give you guys a look how it looks with the bottle and everything on there. So just hang on un momento and you shall see it when I return. Hey everyone, thought I'd show you one more idea I had before I mount everything. You see I got the bottle started on there. I noticed that the chain tends to slip out of the keyholes when you pull on it. So one thing that I went ahead and did, and I'll show you what I'm going to do on this chain too, I did the bottom chain already, is I take a smallish size bolt that'll pass through the chain, but not too loosely. You just want it snug in there. 2 washers, and in this case I used a wing nut. You can use whatever kind of nut you want. Knock yourself out. Put one of the washers on the bolt, put the bolt through wherever, depending on the size cylinder you have. Put it through the chain, put the next nut on, put the washer on, or the wing nut on, and tighten that up. I mean, this doesn't have to be super tight. Don't go to town wrenching on it and using pliers to tighten the wing nut. It's just to stop it from loosening out and coming through the keyhole, as I'll show you over here. So, hold on a second here. Move that out of the way. Let's see if I can get you focused somewhere where you see. Don't know how well you'll be able to see this. I'll take you off the. I'm just moving the microphone a little bit, just so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Come on, there we go. Okay, get my thumb out of the way. Now the chain comes out. There's the bottom one I already did, as you can see behind there. There's the thing. So this one coming through the back side. Come on. Okay, I'll get that through there, and we'll just pull it snug out here. There, now that's not coming out. You see it's got the bolt stopping it there rather than just relying on the chain links. Come on to this side, wrap it around the bottle. I've already got the bottom one on. Hold on a sec, sorry here. That's right, I'm gonna have to set you down for a second. Alright, there we go. We'll just pass that through the keyhole, lift it up, pull it tight. You want this as snug as you can get it. Hold on, I'm going to set you down again. There. Now that bottle ain't going nowhere. Not going off-roading or anything, so we should be good. Okay, now I'll set this down again and I'll bring you back when I got the welder mounted. Welder as she sits now. See you in a bit. There it is. I got the cart on it, or the welder on the cart, the ground on the hanger, bottle on, did some tests on it, tried it out. The only issue I have is, I might even take this off. I don't really need this support, but it doesn't really matter. In order to gain access to the panel, I just have to tip it a little bit to change the wire and change polarity if I switch to flex core or anything like that. But as it is, it's not a big deal to do that. Just lift it up. It's good. You got good access at the front to all the dials and knobs. Set the welder up. This is the first time I've used this one, and it works good. Everything's great. Bottle. I have to put my decal on it. There you go. Engage safety squints. For anybody watching me weld, anybody with the misfortune of having to watch me weld. But yeah, it rolls around. The cart rolls good. Smooth, no problem. If I were to be more rugged, I'd put some different wheels on it. I have some pneumatic tires that I bought a whole bunch of. They're actually gate wheels that are like dolly wheels. They're inflatable ones. I'd have to put a longer axle on, but for now, for the garage, this is good. Like I said, if you had rougher terrain, you could easily swap the wheels out. Bottle solid on there. The cart is pretty solid. I definitely couldn't build one for what I paid for it, so that's why I bought it. And I'm happy with it. The welder works good. Like I said, this is my first time trying out this welder. It's Super MIG brand. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace. It's probably still hot. I just did a couple of test beads with it. See? Nothing pretty, but I didn't really have time to dial in my settings or anything, but it works good. Everything works good. You guys will remember that I wired up the adapter plug for this to go in the wall over there. Where are we? There we go. Right there. At the end of my finger is where the plug is. It's a different plug than the one that came with the welder, so I just welded up an adapter, or not welded, wired up an adapter. I did a video on that. And that's about it. So this is much more handy than having it on the old cart. Now I can just wheel this around. Easy peasy. So yeah, I give this, it's probably the same as the Harbor Freight. Just a second here. If anybody out there in the US has the Harbor Freight model, let me know if it's the same part number. I've got 8069213 is the Princess Auto number, Power Fist, but I mean, they don't make it, neither is Harbor Freight, so I bet you that's the same number. So yeah, that's about it. So just make sure everything's tight and you're good to go. It's pretty simple. If you can't put it together, you probably shouldn't own a welder. So there you go. Hey, if you're bored and you lose the screws, you can weld it all together. It's good practice welding sheet metal. I wouldn't do it. There you go. Anyway, thanks for watching, and sorry such a long video, and let me know how the audio is, if this is better. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.